we're going to... Welcome to the 15th Floor, a Radiohead reaction podcast where a Gen X father tries to convince his Gen Z son that Radiohead is the greatest band of all time by reacting to Radiohead songs one at a time. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different because we hit a goal, I guess. We got 2,000...
You wish.
Yeah. In honor of our 200th subscriber. I know 200 subscribers for most YouTube channels is not a big deal, but we're proud of it. And in honor of that, we're going to do our first viewer request. We'll think of a fun name and we'll think of funner things to do for these viewer requests. But we wanted to get one of these in because you guys have given some suggestions. And now that we hit 200 subscribers, and maybe as we hit some other goals, we'll do this. We'll keep doing them. The reactions for viewer requests can be any song, any genre, really any era. But we kind of prefer something more recent because if it's older than 2000, I've definitely heard it. If it's newer than 2000, he might have heard it. Anything that's fairly contemporary that you think we might like, or that you want to just torture us and make us listen to something awful. We might not love that, and we might say bad things, but I don't know. You can do that, I guess.
Makes for some great content.
I hate putting that out there because I really don't want to be put through misery.
Waste of time.
And we respectfully request that your songs be fairly light fare. If your music has to have a completely dark feeling in order to be interesting, then it's probably not interesting musically.
Just keep it family friendly.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good summary. Keep it family friendly.
So no rap.
Oh, what about Monster Mac? What about from the Great Northwest? Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yeah.
You can do Sir Mix-a-Lot. Because he's clean. Baby got back. All right.
No, that's not good.
So we had a couple of requests from Contapas and Raphael C. Said, try something with Muse. I will tell you right off the bat, I actually know who Muse is. This is the image we just looked at. And nice cheekbones on that guy. So I don't know Muse as a band, actually. I know the song Madness, which I really like. I like that kind of electronic rock that they do there. And I think his voice is actually very similar to Tom York's in that song. And I think there's a little melody ripoff of a Radiohead song in that song as well. But not a big one, just one that kind of reminds me of. And I know Our Time Is Running Out is another song that I had on my MP3 player for a while. A friend of mine made me a disc once for Muse, but I've never really listened to it. So, but I've never been disappointed. I mean, Madness, I think, is a great song. I actually plunk around on the piano a little bit with that one. Today, we're going to do Uprising from the album Resistance, The Resistance. Very appropriate for today's climate.
Or, the uprising of viewer requests.
Oh, there you go. Uprising of subscribers. These are all the uprising. Well, stop talking about it. This is Uprising. Kind of a long intro. We both thought that sounded like it belonged in maybe a Scooby-Doo cartoon.
A more funky Scooby-Doo.
But fine. Kind of sounded like that little tune belonged in maybe a bad 1970s Stephen King flick. But, just the tune. The beat, you get it. It's the Uprising. This is a call to arms for sure.
It caught me off guard when it had just like this, like it just played the drums, it played the beat. I'm like, whoa, that sounded good.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's gonna be pumped.
The second it started, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get into this.
Is in bloom, the transmissions will resume. Now try to push, try to keep us all down and hope that we will never see the truth around.
I don't know Radiohead enough to say this, but that sounded like Radiohead with a more modern day type tone. Like it's like Radiohead trying to get more upbeat with their songs and stuff, like more electronic, more upbeat. And they probably do that, but that just reminded me of Radiohead, just the way he was singing.
That didn't remind me of Radiohead at all. In fact, I was just thinking, wow, I swear I've heard him sound a lot more. I know in Madness he does sound like a lot more like Tom York. I didn't think he sounded like Tom York there.
He kind of reminded me of Tom York when he was singing like that.
Really?
Like,
because you think all Brits sound alike. That guy's definitely British. That had the verse had a Run Like Hell vibe from The Wall, from Pink Floyd's The Wall. Yeah, one of those verses that's kind of gearing a crowd up, and one of those songs that once you learn all the lyrics, you love to kind of sing along to, dress yourself up in your favorite disguise, and then it had a little chorus to it that wasn't bad.
Interchanging mind control, come let the revolution take its toll. If you could, I think a switch and open your third eye, you'd see that we should never be afraid to die. You know that there are times coming to an end. We have to unify and watch our flag ascend.
So many different things I hear in there. Every once in a while, I hear an almost Marilyn Manson without the darkness, the same darkness, but even just the growling of the vocals down here sounds that way.
I'm also kind of getting like, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you heard it, The Beautiful People.
Just a
yeah, just like. Yeah, it's a more calmer, The Beautiful People type song.
well, and not nearly as dark and gothic as that. And I love music inspired by politics. I care more about the music. Definitely it has a political charge to it, no doubt about it. This isn't just a, hey, everybody get on your feet, we're having fun at a concert.
I do feel like if there's a movie about people fighting the government or whatever, this is definitely going to be a theme song of theirs.
Yeah, that was the other thing I thought is it almost has a soundtrack vibe to it. Vocally, that background, there's almost Queen-like background vocals that has a bit of a Journey vibe through their early 80s stuff, just on the background vocals. Nothing wrong with it. So many people who say, hey, if you like Radiohead, you'll like Muse. Those, I know you said they sounded similar. That just did not remind me of that. That sounded much more like a stadium band, an arena band, arena rocking, trying to get the crowd pumped up with a political agenda without a political agenda. Yeah. Here's a political song, but we don't really know. We're not really saying anything specific. Just rise up.
It didn't. I'm not saying this is like it's bad or a good thing. It's weird that that's a modern day music song because that does not remind me of modern day music. That reminds me of the '90s still. Oh. Just I don't know. I just got '90s vibes from it still.
Certainly something in the 1 or 2 year span that every little subgenre of alternative post grunge rock tried. Yeah, it could have fit into any number of those. Maybe, maybe. Yeah. It's an older song. I mean, that song I think is now. I think when we looked it up to see what album it was on, it looked like it was 9 or 10 years old, maybe longer. So, I mean, if I'm giving that a score, there's no one here to keep happy. That we don't have any Muse fan to answer to. If you're a Muse fan, well, of course,
guys.
yeah, those guys. If you're a Muse fan, tell us why you like that song. Tell us some of the things we might have missed about it. I mean, I wanted the guitar solo to do a little bit more, although I was pleased with it. I did like that interlude. But I thought it could have done a little bit more, and I knew where it was going when the last chorus came on in, and by that time you can kind of sing along and stomp your feet, and it's a high energy song. I'd probably give it a 6. I wouldn't have a problem if it came on the radio, or if somebody said, "Hey, do you want to hear some Muse based on that song?" I'd be like, "Sure, I'm fine with Muse."
Maybe a 7 for me, because it was again, I prefer upbeat songs more, and that I was really into it. I was just like, I was there. Like, if I was at a concert, I would be rocking out to this song.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to me that you said that there were some comparisons to Radiohead, and I think that to me seemed a lot more like an Imagine Dragons song.
There's only like one song that I can compare that to from Imagine Dragons, but I can see where you're coming from. So yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't really feel like Imagine Dragons listening to that, but yeah, I have no objections for you saying that.
Again, tell us what you thought of that. Tell us what we missed about it. Tell us maybe another Muse song that we should react to. Keep giving us suggestions on modern day music that you'd like to see us react to. I enjoyed that, and I'm happy to be introduced to more bands that I might like. Subscribe, like, share with your friends who are fans of Muse. Continue to love one another. Keep listening to music together. You're now leaving
The 15th floor.